Much, Mr. Chairman and Chairman Keith Self. I want to congratulate you on being selected for the Munich Security Conference delegation this week. That's such a high honor, and just grateful for your service. I'm also grateful for each of you appearing, and as we discussed immigration, my law practice was immigration to help persons come to our country legally, particularly from India. And in fact, it was incredible to see the success of Indian Americans. They now own 60% of all hotels and motels in the United States. The per capita income of the Indian American community, 6 million people, is twice that of the average American. And so we benefit from I believe, the immigration laws that we have, and our country is so fortunate. But we do have, obviously, a situation where it can be weaponized migration, and it is a devious tool of hybrid warfare used by war criminal Putin to destabilize and undermine the West with surges of migration from the Middle East and Africa. And indeed, this is an act of war, as I believe we're in a conflict, and that is dictatorships with rule of gun invading democracies with rule of law. With that in mind, no bigger case has been the unholy alliance between war criminal Putin and the deranged and now deposed former dictator Bashar al-Assad. Over 13 million Syrians, half of the nation's population, were forced to flee the chemical weapons and barrel bombs dropped by Russian planes. War criminal Putin conducted mass murder in Aleppo, and Russian bases that are still there should be removed, never forgetting Aleppo. With that in mind, I'm grateful that we've introduced bipartisan the Harm 2.0 Act to designate the successor organization of the Wagner Group as a foreign terrorist organization. With that in mind, and Chairman Self was ahead of the curve, I wanted to ask how in the world do you try to explain in a non-political way the dangers of weaponized migration? But he already asked that, so I'm going to go to the next one. How is it that it can be effectively, Admiral explained, a deportation of illegal aliens? And is that being done in Europe?
Was that for me, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, well, first, I do want to say I fully support the Harm 2.0 Act. Absolutely, it's the right way to counter Russian next-generation warfare. And, obviously, we had to work it since Prigozhin's accidental air accident. So that's good. Listen, I think that what we have to do at this point, again, is allow the countries to block the try to block the weaponized migration in. Once it's in, you have to treat the people, the migrants that come in humanely. There's international law about that. But in terms of the weaponization of migration, it's absolutely appropriate for Poland to build a wall, to build first a fence and now to build a wall between themselves and Belarus. It's appropriate for them to search for tunnels. It's appropriate for them to hold Belarus accountable for what they're doing. So I fully understand that. The problem you have is once you have migrants inside your country, you're governed by the laws of your country, and you should treat them accordingly. I think the vast majority of these countries are also governed by EU, that we're mentioning are governed by European Union law as well, and they have to adhere to those.
And indeed, thank you so much. And I want to congratulate the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. You make a phenomenal difference promoting democracy around the world. And then how fortunate we are to have the Hudson Institute. And with that, Mr. Boyce, the situation with the Putin puppet of Lukashenko, what is the status of the relationships that we can have or not have with the dictatorship in Minsk?
That we, the United States, can have with him or not. Yes, that is one of those things, those tantalizing questions. During Trump 1, when I was at the State Department, there was an outreach to him to try to set that relationship. But after those stolen elections in 2020, and which then prompted some of the response from the EU, it became increasingly difficult to have any kind of a relationship with him at all, especially given the nature of his regime, plus the way he allows himself to be used so brazenly by Putin, as well as how he deals with his neighbors. So it's not exactly going to be easy to establish some sort of a relationship with him and with his regime. However, there are sometimes ways in which I mean the fact that he released a number of political prisoners a few months ago, it was one of those gestures that he obviously made to try to reset the relationship with the United States. I think we have to, but here again, weaponizing people, using political prisoners who shouldn't have been in prison in the first place as hostages, and to dangle them in front of the United States and to say, see, we can release you if you want to take another relationship. This is unbelievable cynicism.
And hey, I want to thank you for recognizing the rigged election, because I can't wait for Chairman Self to meet the legal president of Belarus, Svetlana Aliyeva, who will be president in Munich. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you. And now